Hello everyone. So at long last I have the wonderful news that Lorraine, Flaherty and I are going to be running two retreats actually to Egypt this coming November. Our first trip will center around Cairo, the pyramids of Giza and all the surrounding areas in that location, including the Coptic church, the mosque, Memphis, Saqqara. There's so much in that area for us to explore. And our second trip is going to be a temple tour, going down all the temples around the Nile. So Dendra, Abydos, Philae, all the fantastic temples. The way that these retreats are run is that we really do follow the flow. We have an incredible guide on the ground and an amazing Egyptologist and an incredible team in Egypt. And so we often follow the flow, which means that we get to explore places that not many tourists get to explore. And often we can follow a bit of spontaneity, safely of course, and get to go a little bit off piste. And it's actually a wonderful feminine movable feast. That said, we do have a set itinerary, but one of the things that Lorraine and I wanted to share was some beautiful video footage from one of our previous Divine Origins retreats to give you guys a taster of the kinds of things that we get to do and see and explore. And these trips aren't just tourist tours of the sacred sites. We actually do a lot of deep diving and spiritual work, and we come away feeling very, very healed and very aligned as a result of it. We also do a lot of grid work for Mother Earth, and the groups that come together are absolutely meant to be together on these trips. We have magical experiences, and we would love for you to join us. I'm going to put all the details below the video for how to book and how to get in touch with us. And if you can't join us this time, we hope you can join us on a future retreat. If not, please do enjoy soaking up the energies on this video. Lots of love, and we hope to see you in Egypt.
Hi, my name's Lorraine Flaherty, and I am super excited that once again Alexandra and I have the opportunity to take people on tours around the magic that is Egypt. We have one tour that will cover Cairo and all of the surrounding areas and the magic that happens there, and another that is a deep dive into the temples and into the magic that happens along the Nile. If you can join us, it is going to be an extraordinarily magical trip, and we would love to have you there.
Hello, so we've just arrived in Cairo and we're here with Hamdi and Haydar, who is our representative in Cairo and our tour guide here. We're very excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm going to be your tour guide, guys.
Thank you so much for looking after us here, guys, on our Divine Origins Egypt retreat. We've just been sitting here this morning working out our itinerary with Hamdi and Haydar, and yeah, Laurie and I are like little pigs in poo, and we've got our retreaters are arriving this evening, so we've planned everything. We're going to pick them up from the airport and give them a really warm welcome. So Hamdi,
welcome, good morning.
So we're heading off on our Cairo city tour this morning. We're very excited.
We wish everybody a lovely, nice day, and very shiny, very we're blessed from you, from the great energy I feel in my heart. So I'm gonna be like a machine today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, great. Yeah.
So Haydar is going to give us a lesson in speaking Arabic. Okay.
So we're gonna start with the first one. So we can see, like the first one here. Please. So when you would like to ask someone for something in a polite way, so you will say "min fadlak."
Men fadlak.
Yes. Min fadlak.
Men fadlak.
Yes.
We're going to start with the Egyptian Museum, and there are some wonderful treasures that we're going to share with you in there. Some artifacts that may be more than they look.
So we've just arrived at the Cairo Museum. You can see it, the building, the beautiful red brick building behind me. We've just done our whistle-stop tour of the Cairo Museum. There wasn't much time to film inside there, but we went into the place where the royal mummies were, and it was such an emotional experience. So I'm standing inside the Muhammad Ali Mosque in Cairo, and it's absolutely beautiful in here. Lorraine, do you want to say a few words about the Coptic church we just visited?
Well, I first visited that church probably about 15 years ago, and I had never felt energy like it. It just literally felt like my whole energy field was buzzing and sparkling, and it was just incredibly emotional.
So we're here with our dear friend Hamdi, and our group are just off ahead, and we're heading off to the Stargate.
Stargate for Abu Ghurab.
Abu Ghurab.
Abu Ghurab in Abu Sir area.
This is quartz crystal. This is pure quartz crystal platform. This whole altar. Laurie?
Yeah, it's just pure crystal, the whole thing. Quartz crystal.
And you can see down here, like the layers of it, and beautiful. It's almost flower, like it looks like a plant, the way it's grown.
Perfectly, that's been cut as well.
Isn't that stunning?
It's like no way that was cut with a chisel.
No, that's like circular cut. It looks like a machine has done this. Just standing outside the bent pyramid of Dashur, we're just going to go up and do a little silent meditation and connect with the energy of the stones. And these stones, as you can see. Good morning. We're here at 7:30 a.m. at the Great Pyramid, and we're just about to go in and have a little bit of a
do our meditation.
Meditation inside.
Did a meditation on the bus already, so we've set everything up. We're all prepared, and we'll see what awaits inside.
Just come out of the King's Chamber in the Great Pyramid. Whew, a bit of a journey. Here we are standing at the foot of the Great Pyramid.
And unbelievably, it's
raining. Coming up to watch the sound and light show at the pyramids and the Sphinx, so we'll try and film a little bit for you if we can.
And this is new to me too, even though I've been to Cairo 5 times now. Somehow I've never done this show, so it's going to be really interesting.
Very exciting.
I am the faithful warden at the foot of his Lord. So faithful, so vigilant, so near him that he gave me his face for my own.
On the road in Egypt.
Having the most fun you could ever have.
22. 222. And we're about to go into Dendra and we're having amazing lunch. We're just walking up the causeway to Dendra, the home of Hathor. Hamdi, Humdinger. Here we are at Dendra.
We love you guys.
I'm just taking a sneaky video in my room in Dendra, where I feel very at home. Oh, Arif. Gamil. So here we are at Abydos. We've got the whole place to ourselves because we happen to be staying in the hotel on the doorstep, the House of Life. And we're going to go in and take a look around and have a look at the Osirian and the Flower of Life, which is very exciting for our group because they haven't seen it before.
Absolutely, and we're going to hope to reconnect with Seti, who we met the last time we were here, who was the extraordinary Englishwoman who had visions and flashes of her past life, and in her dream state would have the pharaoh Seti that she'd been in love with when she'd had a past life here visit her, and she had this extraordinary connection with him. And it was in the very early 1900s, and she just decided to move to Egypt. She had no money, she had no way of supporting herself. She lived in basically a shed, you know, in the land somewhere, and the Egyptian people just became very fond of her. But her past life memories meant that she could actually remember specifically where things were. So she was great help to the Egyptologists and to the government, because she would just say, oh, well, this is here, you know, just point out, and they would dig and find everything she'd described. So she became a bit of a legend.
Okay, so we're here in the Valley of the Kings, and we've just been to see the tomb of Tutankhamun, and we've just come into Hatshepsut's mortuary temple, and we've got a depiction of her being crowned by a god that looks like Horus but isn't actually Horus, and Amun-Ra. This is her in the center, and it's not Horus, it's a god called Momtu. This temple has been carved directly from the rock, directly out of this mountain. And this mountain feels very alive. It's a place of what feels like very high technology, like they knew about technology here, and there's lots of stargates. Just had a gaze into one of the stargates, and the guide let me do some chanting and humming. It felt like I was going straight up. It was amazing. We've just arrived at the tomb of Nefertari, which I had a really strong feeling we needed to come here, and we look behind us on the sign, and it's number 266.
Unbelievable. So we've just done a huge clearing in some of the other tombs, and what was really incredible was that we've just seen our first djinn.
Painted blatantly
painted on the walls. And
the temple of Karnak, and we're going to go and hopefully, well, we know we're going in to visit Mother Sekhmet, the lion goddess, the goddess of destruction and creation. And last time Lorraine and I were here, this was the first temple we visited, and this time around it's the last. So there's a feeling of completion and coming full circle. And you can see this amazing temple complex behind me. 6 long years we've returned to the temple where we were first reunited. And yeah, it just feels like such a joyful energy here, and it's such a celebration of almost like a homecoming.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was great because we were over the other side, we were on the other bank, the east bank, and we ended up getting a ferry, the local ferry that the people would take, and then we had to get the horse and carriage, which we hadn't actually built into the trip, but it all fell into place. So we were travelling very Egyptian style to get here, and yeah, it does feel like a homecoming yet again. It just feels like we're back in a place that is very, very dear to our hearts in lots of different ways.
This is our favourite sunset ever. This is so amazing. We're literally being sandblown, but the colour of the sky. So I'm here in Giza, and you can see the Sphinx and the 3 pyramids behind me, and I thought it's just only fitting to read this poem. I have my poetry book, Poems of Precious Wisdom, with me. This poem isn't actually in this book, but this poem was channeled right before we came out here for our Divine Origins retreat, and I thought it only fitting that in the energy of the Sphinx I should read this poem, because it's quite profound, and I've been given some really important messages for the planet while I've been here, which are going to be going in my Precious Wisdom book. So this poem is called Keeper of Light, and it is kind of like a prayer. So if you'd like to close your eyes and listen to the words, then you may find that you'll be taken on your own journey through the front paws of the Sphinx into the halls of Amenti to access your own inner precious wisdom. So the poem is called Keeper of Light. The wisdom keepers are calling. It is time now to return. Deeper into love we are falling, and our hearts are ready to burn. In waves of eternal sunshine, the beat of our hearts to the drum, we run towards the high noontime, for at long last salvation is come. Bring flowers back into the temple, lift up your hearts with a song, for the answer has always been simple. Your soul knew the tune all along. Daughters and sons of the old time, the stars are still shining for you. A lamp has been lit in the night time. Come now and take in this view. In the desert, the sky is an ocean. It sparkles and breathes and it flows. As you glide through the seas of emotion, your wellspring of love overflows. The river that mirrors the heavens, the pillars that guide your heart on. The gates shall now open, all 7, as greeted you are by the One. A reed is whistling in the wind, a glittering ripple circles out. The time has now come to begin, to let your precious wisdom out. A chamber of light is left empty. It has always been waiting for you. May you enter the halls of Amenti, and at long last remember the truth. For now, you shall surely have proof. Thank you.